Hi, sometime earlier I made these Irish crochet leaves and I made it in two colors with two different kind of yarns. This is a cotton yarn and this is an acrylic yarn, and I really like this pattern in Irish crochet, so I thought for making my Valentine's top, the hearts for the Valentine's top, I used a Irish crochet pattern to make the shape of the heart. I made 4 hearts and all of them all look almost similar, thankfully. So today I wanted to share with you how I made this crochet heart in Irish crochet. I'm using Lorena Superfine yarn. This is around 2 to 3 mm in size, and this is from Ice Yarns, and I'm using a 2 mm crochet hook from Boy. To start with, I'll make a chain of 2, and I will go in the first stitch and I'll do 1 single crochet, and I'll do 2 more single crochets in the same stitch. So in the first stitch I'm doing 3 single crochets. Now I'll turn, do chain 1, and in Irish crochet pattern, to get this kind of puffy look in one row and embossed look in one row and a deeper look in the next row, what we need to do is we need to work always in the back loop. So if you observe in your stitches, you will have 2 loops. These are the 2 loops, and generally when you do crochet you go under both these loops and do the crochet, but for Irish crochet you will just go in the back loop. This is the front loop, I'll skip that, I'll go into the back loop, and in this row I will do 1 single crochet in the first stitch, 2 single crochets in the second stitch, and 1 single crochet in the third stitch. So now I have 4 stitches. Again turn the work, do chain of 3 and go into the same stitch from where you started in the back loop again, and do 2 single crochets in the same stitch and single crochets throughout until you reach the end. In the last stitch I'll do 2 more single crochets, and then I'll do chain 3. Turn my work, go into the first stitch. In this row I will just do single crochets till the center point, and in the center stitch I will do 2 single crochets. Then I will continue making single crochets throughout. That was my chain 3. I'm not going to work anything on the chain 3. Again chain 3. The reason why I'm making chain 3s is for this kind of look. The spiky look in the ends, that comes because of the chain 3s. Now again in this row, so what I'm going to do in all the rows is, one row I will do 2 single crochets in the center for the increase, because my pattern needs to go like this, and in the next row I will do 2 single crochets in the beginning and the end. So since in the previous row I did 2 single crochets in the center, I will do 2 single crochets in the beginning and the end. And as my stitches are increasing, I will not do 2 single crochets in the first stitch itself. Like here I'm going to do in the second stitch. Now I'll continue doing single crochets. Again, before ending it, I will do 2 single crochets in this stitch, and in the last stitch I'll do single crochet. And that was not my last stitch, this is my last stitch, and then chain 3. Now in this row I am going to do 2 single crochets in the middle. I will continue doing 2 single crochets in the middle and 2 single crochets in somewhere on both the sides till I reach a certain shape. So to be sure that every time I make a heart I get the same kind of a shape, I actually drew a heart on a paper and I used to measure it every time I made the heart. For every increase I used to measure whether my heart is going in the right direction or not. So this is the size of the heart that I want my crochet heart to have. So I will keep measuring every time I increase the row. I will keep measuring whether it is coming fine in the same shape or not. And I will continue making these increases until I reach this point. And then I will come back to you and show you. Okay, let's see how it is going. Yep, going good. Another tip I wanted to share with you is that every time when I'm increasing on the sides, I'm not increasing in the same stitch. Like every time I'm not increasing in the third stitch from this side or third stitch from this side. I am increasing it either in the second stitch from this side or fourth stitch or third stitch. So every time I keep changing it. By not increasing it one single stitch every time, that the shape of the this triangular thing will be more circular rather than a trapezoid kind of a shape. I think few more rows to go to reach there. So there we go. I have reached this step, and from here I'll work into 2 separate crochets. So what I'm going to do is I will work only till half and I will not increase this time. I'm just working single crochets in the back loop. In the first row, which is going to separate the 2 sides of this heart, I am just going to do single crochets without any increase or without any decrease. And then from the next row onwards, I will do decreases so that I get that curvy shape. Now when I'm reaching the center, which looks like this one, I am not going to do the chain 3s which I was doing here. I will do just chain 2 for the first row. Then I will turn and again work in the back loop. I'll do single crochet and then I will keep on decreasing two on both the sides. So this I am pulling and holding. In the next stitch also I am going to pull and hold and pull through together. So I've decreased 1 here. Then I will do single crochets. This is my last stitch, this one. So in these 2 stitches I am going to decrease again. So pull and hold and pull through together, and in the last stitch I'll do single crochet. Now here I will do chain 3, and from now on this side also I will do chain 3. Now again single crochet in the first stitch, decrease in the next 2 stitches, and few more single crochets. And decrease in the next 2 stitches, and then 1 more single crochet in the last stitch, chain 3. Now single crochet in the first, decrease, single crochet, so decrease here and then single crochet in the last stitch. Now I am left with 1 2 3 4 5 stitches. So chain 3, and this should be my last row. So I am going to decrease in the first 2 stitches itself. I didn't do the single crochet. Then maybe I'll do 1 single crochet and then decrease in the next 2 stitches. Now I'll be left with 3 stitches. Now chain 3, and this is a bit important because this will determine the shape. So I will see what I'm going to do. I'm going to decrease in the first 2 stitches and do single crochet in the last in the next stitch, and that's it. This looks like a proper shape because I don't want it to be too pointed. If I just leave 1 stitch here, it will be too pointy, and I don't want that. So what I'm going to do is, for this stitch I'm not going to do the chain 3, or should I do it? Let me see. If I do chain 2 and come back in this one, which one is my right side? This is my, actually it looks same from both the sides, so whichever you feel looks a little more neater, you can pick that as the right side. I'm going to pick this as the right side. So what did I do? I did chain 2, and then in the next stitch I am just going to slip it, and then I am going to pull this stitch back till here so that I can start the other shape of the heart. So I will go into this stitch and pull this loop. I have to be very gentle, not pull it too much because that is going to spoil the shape of the heart over here. Now I'll do chain 1 and leave this loop, go into this and pull this loop. Again chain 1, go into this loop and pull this, chain 1, and now I will reach this spot from where my next row is going to appear. Also I have to do chain 1. Yeah, I don't want this to be too loose. There you go. Now I'll do the same exact thing over this side.